It's time for Reason.
But if they disagree with you, then you're not actually promoting freedom of speech, you're actually promoting hate speech. Because in today's times, anything that offends you, that makes you feel uncomfortable, is no longer a freedom of speech, but is now hate speech. If you say, I love Donald Trump, that is now considered fascist hate speech because you're probably a white supremacist and you don't have any place in society.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Then I get on my knees and pray. We don't get fooled again. Don't get fooled again.
Oh, yeah, that's what we're talking about, baby. Broadcasting live out of the heart of the nation here in Wichita, Kansas on the Big Talker, 1480 on the AM side, 102.5 on the FM side, KQAM. Simulcasting on KGPT TV, channel 2610. Welcome aboard. It is a Friday. It is a free-for-all Friday. What the heck? Let's do it. As usual, it's open lines to you. Anything you want to talk about, chime about, vent about, it's okay. I am your political therapist. Let's work through it together, shall we, on a free-for-all Friday. Let's do it. All right. 316-721-8255, 316-721-TALK. If you want to join into the program, we'd love to hear from you. You are all over social media as well, Facebook Live, the Twitter at Hooser Reason. You can email me, Andy at KQAMradio.com. It's been a fun one as today is Good Friday, hopefully. A lot of individuals actually taking the day off, having a Friday off, enjoying a little bit for the holiday with Easter right around the corner. Happy Easter to you. Happy Passover. If you're of the Jewish beliefs, whatever you want to believe in, let's enjoy the holiday, the first big holiday of the year since the beginning of the year, which we kind of, except for, of course, St. Patrick's Day, which is by far the greatest holiday of the entire year, and we need to remember that as well. I want to shift gears a little bit. We've been talking some politics the last couple hours, had a little fun with that, but now I want to shift, and we've talked about, if you remember a day or two ago, we've talked about the community events, the random acts of kindness, the things that we can do to make our community a better place. And around Easter and around the religious holidays like this, it's really the appropriate time to focus and think on a lot of these things. And coming up next Friday, April 6th, it is something that I'm very familiar with. I've seen it all across the nation. It's a really great event. It's St. Baldrick's. It's the 10th annual Wichita St. Baldrick's event, to where you can do something crazy and dramatic, and you can actually donate to be able to support kids with cancer. And in the studio with us here, we have Rick and Caleb. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Hey,
morning.
Appreciate you coming in very much here. Caleb, first off, thanks for reaching out to us and seeing this event with what's happening here with St. Baldrick's. You guys, first off, just talk a little bit about St. Baldrick's. For those that may not be familiar, what is St. Baldrick's?
Well, I'm really excited to jump in this year. This is going to be my first year, and I'm kind of embarrassed that this is like the 10th year, and I'm just now getting involved.
Hey, you know what? It's growing though.
Yeah,
it's
exactly,
growing.
Which is exactly what we want. And Rick here has been day one. In fact, for all of you on Facebook Live, at some point we've got a crazy haircut to show off. So, Rick, go right into the St. Baldrick kind of history and
Okay.
And talk about the history of that a little bit.
Well, with St. Baldrick's, they are the world's largest private funder of childhood cancer research grants.
Wow.
They've given out over $232 million worth of grants since 2005.
Wow.
What's amazing about it, they're a completely volunteer-driven foundation, and only 3% of the money raised goes to administration. The rest is used for marketing, and 72% actually goes to fund the grants.
Goes to fund the grants there. So the event itself, St. Baldrick's, you can donate to it, you can sponsor people to go and do this, but you go and you shave your head.
We do a signature head shaving every year, and this year we're hoping to have over 100 people get their head shaved. But you don't have to get your head shaved. We would love to have more people join us and get their head shaved with us.
Sure.
But we also have lots of local businesses donating goods for raffles and live auctions.
Wow. Talk about the history of St. Baldrick's here in the Wichita area. This being the 10th annual, how did it get started in the area, and how much have you seen it grow over the last 10 years?
Well, it started off with the Wichita Fire Department's group called Fools of Oz. They needed to do a charity event every year as part of their charter.
Sure.
So Robert Kirshen and others were looking for a charity, and Robert found St. Baldrick's, and it fit all of our parameters plus a lot more.
Sure.
And so we started doing that as a yearly event for our Fools of Oz, but we outgrew that, and now we are doing this for the passion of the children.
Doing it for the children every single year. Now, this is 10 years going into it. And last year, what's the most amount of people that you've seen actually shave their head here in Wichita?
Our third year, we did 88 people.
88 people.
Yeah, and it fluctuates year after year, but we've stayed fairly small. Starting this year, we're working hard to make it a major event. So we want to get over 100 people this year. We've made a lofty goal this year to raise $50,000.
That's fantastic. And this happens all over the nation.
Yes, we are one of over 1,000 events that happen all around the world.
I was saying, I remember this in Colorado Springs. I used to work at the rock station out there, and everybody would get excited. And it would happen right around St. Patrick's Day, where everybody go crazy on St. Patty's Day, and the next day they go and get their head shaved. And the on-air talent for the rock station that I was at, I mean, they were all the rockers with the long shoulder, headbanging hair, which would break my heart because I'd be losing my headbanging rocker hair. But they did it for such great cause, and all 4 or 5 of them went and shaved their head that year, and it was really, really cool to watch and see happen.
It is. And another thing that's really cool is watching the women that get their head shaved.
Sure.
I mean, because a guy, it's no big deal to walk around bald. These women are really sacrificing something, and it's amazing how beautiful every woman looks once they're bald because it accentuates their facial features. And my sister's getting ready to do it the second year with us.
How fun. How many women do you usually see do it?
Normally, last year was one of our biggest years. I think we had 9 last year, but we've got, I believe, 12 signed up already this year.
So not even including walk-ins.
Yeah. And we do a lot of walk-ins. What we do is we try to have everybody raise at least $25 on their head. If you raise $50, you get an event T-shirt. Okay. And we try to go over that. With me, I do a crazy haircut if I raise at least $1,000 on my head, and I have to wear that for an entire week doing promotional events, and I go out to local businesses.
Which is probably what we're seeing right here, which if you are watching the Facebook Live or watching the TV, you can see that, I mean, it's actually really cool. It's the mohawk with... it looks like a lizard or something. Yeah, with the little legs that come off there, and it's dyed blue with a yellow tip on the top there. It looks really unique. I kind of dig that. I would almost do that on my own accord if if I had the opportunity and wasn't in politics. That would be okay.
It's amazing because it opens the doors, either shock and awe value with people. Either people love it or they hate it. I mean,
sure.
And it lets me talk to people about the event. And I also go out to local businesses for a minimum of $50 donation. I take a picture with their staff or signage and post it all over social media saying this company cares enough about children to join the fight against childhood cancer.
Wow, how fun. Now, you said that obviously you've already raised $1,000 for your head since you did this.
Yes.
How much money have you raised so far leading up to this event?
On my head right now, I have $1,170. My goal is $1,500 this year. As a group right now, with everybody that's getting their head shaved, we're a little bit over $17,000 so far.
$17,000 total. We got a ways to go a little bit for the next. Now, it's going to happen next week. It's at the Distillery 244 in Old Town. Talk about, is that where it's kind of historically been for the last few years as well?
No, this is a new venue. It's an amazing venue, a little more upscale, and it's larger because we keep outgrowing everything we have. We've had it at Dudley's and Joe's in Old Town, and the owners were amazing, worked with us great, but we outgrew them.
Sure. Now, when you do this, the money, does it go towards the national fight for cancer? Does it go towards the local stuff? Where does the money go when we raise this?
Well, St. Baldrick's funds only the most promising research around the world.
Okay.
And a lot of people talk about where they want the money to stay local. There are organizations that do keep it local, but it's the same cake. We're just different layers of the cake because we have to have the research.
It's got to be funded all across the board.
Yeah, to get the medications.
I mean, not only the research to try and stop it from happening, but the treatment at the local level. So it kind of the fight needs to be happening all across the board.
We've gone almost 20 years with no new medications earmarked just for children. Wow. And in the last year and a half, we've gotten 4 get FDA approval. So things are changing.
Things are really happening there. It's so good to hear not only the fight for cancer, because we are moving up, I think, actually seeing some progression on cancer across the board. But, I mean, you want to talk about a sad, devastating story is watching a child try and fight cancer like this.
A lot of people ask me why I do this. I'm personally attached to several of the kids around here. I call them my kids, too. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, it's almost a greedy thing on my behalf because we complain about being late to work or our coffee being cold. These kids are fighting for their lives, but they're the happiest, most amazing people you'll ever meet.
Sure.
And I hang around them so I can learn to be a better person.
Absolutely. Now talk about the purpose of buzzing the head, of course, obviously is for the sign of saying that I support St. Baldrick's and raising the money on your head to be able to donate for that. But the hair itself, what do you do with the hair itself? Do you actually use it?
Anybody that has hair that's over 8 inches long, we donate to a group called Children with Hair Loss, and they make wigs for children going through treatment free of charge.
How fun. 8 inches long. But if you don't, then you can still just get your head buzzed just for the purpose of, the fundraising for it and the good cause for that as well.
Definitely.
Okay. What's the longest hair that you've seen get buzzed?
We had a gal last year named Allison. Amazing woman. She had hair almost down to her waist. It was amazing. And she donated that, and that'll make several wigs, they said, for the children. Wow. And she's doing it again this year.
How fun.
Another thing we do at the tables there is, as people are sitting around enjoying the night, we'll go around to tables, and if someone will donate $50 on that table, we'll shave somebody's head right there at the table.
Right there at the table. I love it. I love it. So you're going to get your head buzzed after you've sported the awesome lizard that's on your head kind of thing with the hair. Are you going to buzz yours as well?
So I have not gotten the sign off from my wife yet. However, I'm 99% sure that it's gonna get shaved.
It's gonna happen.
So because also I work in a very corporate setting,
sure,
professionally, and I want those questions to be asked.
Well, sure.
Going to work on Monday and say, "Oh my, is that Caleb? What happened?
What's going on here?
And
no,
are you okay?" And be like, actually, let's have a conversation about this. Let's get awareness. And I think that this event really serves a number of purposes here. First of all, awareness is key,
sure,
just to help get people connected to what's going on in the community. And two, I feel like there's been kind of a spur lately of trying to be, as a community, especially here locally, just trying to do more. I mean, there's a lot of initiatives downtown, a lot of initiatives just throughout the city. I feel like people trying to come together. And this is one way, it's going to be a fun event, even if you don't get your head shaved, even if you just come and hang out. It's going to be like a great community event. And then finally, of course, the money. And that's where, that's kind of where I come in on this is I'll actually be the auctioneer this year. So get to rattle off some numbers.
You can talk really fast?
Yeah, I'll be able to get to you now 3.
See, there you go. That works perfect. I love it.
And so we'll so the night of the event, we'll start at 6:00. There'll be food or drink available to purchase, and there will be probably like 50 raffle items, and then we'll have a number of live auction items. There's going to be a knighting ceremony, which Rick can go into for some of the kids.
Wait, a knighting ceremony?
Yep.
Yes. As part of St. Baldrick's, with years of service, you earn different levels of recognition.
Okay.
At 3 years, you become a squire. At 7 years, you become a knight of the bald table. And then
love it.
Tonight, at 10 years, you become a knight commander. And this is
Wow.
our 10th year. So far, we've got 4 people that are going to become knight commanders that have been with us from the get-go.
From the get-go.
And we've got the entire royal court from the Renaissance Fair coming out to do the knighting ceremony for us.
Yes, that is fantastic. So they're partnering up with this as well to help out.
They are supporting us this year, and they're going to do something special for the children that are there, because we have lots of our local children that are fighting or have beat cancer already that show up to root us on, and they're going to get knighted as a knight of chivalry, I believe it's called.
I love that. So this is going to be more than just watching people get their head shaved, but
Right.
as you mentioned, with the auction, with the live event going on, this is going to be a whole event just to go and have some fun and to support the good cause, to watch the great excitement, and then just to be able to see what all happens.
It's almost like a 3-ring circus in Old Town.
And then, of course, you need to do a random shaving at just tables as well, and just say, you know what, you drew the short straw here. Guess what?
Just walk up behind them with a pair of shears and
yeah,
say,
there you go. Just go for it.
And well, that's kind of one of my hopes, is that at some point in time I can get a volunteer and auction off the right to shave that volunteer's head. So
I love it. Or do a fun style like this,
Yep.
and then have them wear it throughout the entire night, and then shave it at the end of the night.
yes.
There you go. So, but you will be doing the shavings there. Now, is it just the one day of shavings, or can people come in at any time and
No,
do?
it's just one day.
Just one day.
We're going to have a stage set up with 6 booths on there, and they'll be running people through like crazy, because we tried to do all the shavings in less than 3 hours.
Wow. And if you get plus 100 plus people on there, that's going to be a heck of a task.
Yeah, if we have to, we'll add more tables, because we've been with Charisma Inner Beauty Outward for 10 years. They've been with us from the get-go, and they've got 8 women volunteered to come through it. And then we've got Jim McDaniel, who's a retired military barber that drives from Topeka every year. He's been with us from the get-go.
Sure.
And we have another gay who works at another beauty salon in town. She's coming in to help us also. So we've got plenty of barbers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tell again, where is this at and when can people go to that tomorrow? Or, next Friday.
Next Friday. It's at Distillery 244 in Old Town, which is right across the street from the Pump House. Everybody knows where the Pump House is, but it's part of Wheat State Distilling, which is an amazing new venue.
Okay. Very good. And if people want to, even if they can't make it or they want to donate, they want to support it in some way, shape, or form, how can they do so?
So you can go out to, there's an event on Facebook, the 10th annual Wichita St. Baldrick's event. You can go out to the website, stbaldricks.org /events/Wichita. Find the custom page for Wichita, or you can just, Google St. Baldrick's Wichita.
St. Baldrick's and find it.
And a note on that, St. Baldrick's actually, Who is St. Baldrick, Rick?
Yeah, that's the question. Who is St. Baldrick?
There actually is no St. Baldrick's. It started off as three businessmen with a crazy bet. And on St. Patty's Day in 2000, they were going to meet up there and shave their heads and try to raise $10,000 and give it to the local pediatric cancer hospital.
Sure.
And they did it on St. Patty's Day. So that's where they got St. and then Baldrick's.
You know what? Everything starts on St. Patty's Day.
Yep.
That's usually when it starts.
There's a lot of great decisions made that day.
I like the way there are a lot of great decisions that happen on St. Patrick's Day. I love that. It's the 10th annual Wichita St. Baldrick's event coming up next Friday, 6 p.m. at the Distillery 244 in Old Town. Show up, whether you want to donate, whether you want to shave your head, whether you just want to support it with the silent. Just give us a little tease. What kind of goodies are in that silent auction?
So we have some very nice Jack Daniel's bar stools.
Oh well, hey, you sold me right there.
There's a custom cooler, like a wooden stand-up custom cooler, very nice.
Okay.
And we actually have I'm just embarrassing forgetting his name. A famous chef. We have a famous mystery chef that will come to your home and cook a meal for you and teach you all about it.
It's for a large group. It's like 10 people, maybe more than that.
It's Gordon Ramsay, right?
Yes. It's something that he sells his package normally for over $2,000.
Fantastic.
And he's given a deal for the event, so he's going to be working to sell that.
Yeah, tall task.
How fun.
I'll start at $1 and we'll get there 2 hours later.
Exactly, yeah. But I mean, a $2,000 value is fantastic for something like that. So just not only the people that want to sponsor that way, but just the people that donate things, that want to donate their time, service, and goods that they do as well is a huge event. So this is a really great event. I thank you guys for what you guys do, because it's a huge encouragement. We've been talking about random acts of kindness, ways that we can help the community in times where all we see on the news is a lot of negativity, and this is a great way to try and lift people's spirits, especially around the holiday time. So thank you guys for doing that.
Yeah,
thanks for having us out here.
Hey, appreciate it. Got to take a break, but Caleb, Rick, appreciate you guys very much. Good luck with the St. Baldrick event next week, and we're looking forward to seeing a bunch of pictures of a bunch of bald individuals. It should be a lot of fun.
Yes, sir.
Good deal. Appreciate it, you guys. 25 minutes past the hour. Let's take a break. We'll get your thoughts and calls when we come back. This is The Voice of Reason.
You're listening to The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.